like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with free and justice for all. Good evening. So the first thing we have on our agenda is a public hearing for local law number 5, which is chapter 196. I need a motion to open the public hearing. Moved. And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This local law is something we've been talking about probably for a number of months, and it's just basically to consolidate our previous law governing outdoor dining, outdoor seating, and to simplify it and to make it more easily understood. There aren't any major changes, with the exception perhaps the fact that we're insisting that any dining or food establishment comply with all of the Department of Health, Suffolk County, SLA regulations, and any other entity, and that we will not approve any capacities beyond what's already allowed at that establishment by those entities. So we're just conforming to outside entities and their regulations as well. Anyone from the public have a question or a comment? Okay. Anyone from the board?
Nope.
No? Okay, so I need a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reopen.
We just had the public hearing, closed it. Anyone like to entertain reopening, because we just have a couple of guests that just arrived?
Yeah.
I assume you're talking about the outdoor dining.
I'm sorry?
I said, I assume you're referring to the outdoor dining.
Yes, yes, I am.
I would love it to be reopened since I don't know what you just voted on.
Okay, well, we didn't vote yet. but We did have the public hearing portion, but I would entertain a motion to reopen the public hearing.
Second.
Motion and
Motion,
second.
yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so once again, I explained that this is just to consolidate our outdoor seating, dining, previous codes and simplify them, and to make sure that we comply with all other agencies such as Department of Health, SLA, and we will not extend any seating capacities beyond those parameters. And that was about the extent of my explanation. So any public comment? Sure. Come up, please come up.
Regarding, I assume the draft hasn't changed much.
Well, Could you just, I'm sorry, name and,
Erin Finley,
yes. Thank you.
nothing
Right.
else, no address, nothing.
Well, you can if you,
No, I don't need.
whichever.
I just have two questions on it. In the copy that I read before, I assume it is still the same. There were two things that I have issue with or question. You specify, I know you say not limited to, but you specify the Department of Health. There's two agencies that govern all food establishments, and I'm wondering why you're not addressing both of them? Why are they both not listed in there?
Basically because we assume the not limited to would cover it. But
Yes,
you
except
have
for you
another
go out of way to-
suggestion?
Yes, to include Department of Agriculture.
Okay,
Two governing agencies, you're making it very clear that those of us under Health Department need to go to them. It's not very clear for any other food establishment that's not under there that they're supposed to get the same. You either have one or the other.
right. Any superior governing
Correct, and you include
agencies.
SLA as a third, but I don't see why you won't specify the two that,
I would have no problem with amending. Mr. Angel, any problem with adding Department of Agriculture to our examples?
You mean right now?
Yes, as an
market
amendment.
and ads, it's the second
Just
licensing.
add-
The answer is I can't, I'd have to look at the ag and markets. I don't really know how it affects this, so.
Well, we would
I
have,
would-
to-
I
I'm
would
just
just
saying that we
assume-
would comply with their regulations rather than,
What's the particular provision so I can look at it?
Look at the draft agreement.
In order for you to serve food, you have to have a license from.
Oh, okay, applications with a standard restaurant, et cetera. No, it's from all agencies having jurisdiction, including but
Right.
not
You
limited to.
specify the Suffolk County Department of Health Services and the New York State Liquor Authority, but you're not specifying the other food agency. You have several food establishments in the village. They are either licensed by Department of Ags or Health Department. It seems you would want to list
This would
both
make
of those
it up.
agencies clearly.
I mean, I don't see much reason for doing it, but if you want to do it, do it. I mean, I don't see anything against it.
Okay.
We'll add it to it.
Okay. And my other
Or-
question is,
Wait, board agree to that? Basically? Yes? Okay, all right. Another
my
question?
question is just because it's very vague and I'm curious as to what is it? It says at the village clerk that you're gonna have to supply, sorry, I should have brought glasses. Um, It says somewhere in here that you have to supply to the village clerk some sort of proof, but it doesn't specify as to what it is that you're looking for. And that says for the SLA and the health department again.
Just your alternate, and that it could be, we're trying to coordinate as we did this past season, coordinate with the Department of Health and SLA and make sure that we are not exceeding the capacities for a particular establishment. And if that is supplied by you, of course, we will trust but verify, and we just want to,
So you're just looking
Make
for the
sure-
permit
that's it.
that specifies the total seating for the
Exactly,
property.
that's all.
And what are you looking for from SLA? Because you
That
guys
you
are,
actually have a SLA license and that are, just to confirm it.
okay, so you're just
that's
saying
it.
copies of the licenses.
Yeah,
Can that be specified in here? Because it's very vague as to what they're gonna be looking for. And your SLA permit only applies to certain areas that are actually licensed. And you guys are included in that from day one when we have to apply. Like when I added outside, I had to go back and put in an amendment with the SLA to add those tables like everybody did on Main Street for their sidewalk.
We're just trying to increasing communication, I think, between ourselves and say the SLA. And if the SLA does happen to show up in an establishment and finds violations or shuts them down, we want to know about it, and those kinds of things. That's all.
I mean, it's very vague as to what they're gonna be expecting. If it's only copies of the permits that we have to hang in our establishments anyway, I have absolutely no problem with that.
Yes, that's all we're looking for.
But you
Okay.
do realize those permits don't actually specify like where and when, and that's why I'm
Just want
just-
to-
I just wanna make sure that
We
the
want to
village-
make sure it's there.
That's people have. That's bottom line.
That's
So you have the ability.
Okay, I
That's it.
have no problem with any of that. Thanks for the.
Anyone else wish to speak? Okay, once again, I need a motion to close.
Close.
Mr. Rubio,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then we have another public hearing on our local law, number 6, chapter 77, covering drop-off bins. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So basically, this is just changing our local law to make us able to have drop-off bins on village property numbering up to 3, whereas the current code just has 2. And if it's on private property, we could allow up to 2 bins. We have increased the number of bins on our public, on our village property behind the fire department to try and accommodate the amount of clothing that was being dropped off and to decrease the unsightly mess around them in hopes that that would accomplish that. So that has been done, and we are just changing the code to accomplish that, basically. So we're complying with our own code. Anyone from the public have a question or a comment?
Can I make a comment as a public person?
Sure.
I think I was, on Sunday, I went to the one near the firehouse.
Yes.
There was a pile of junk that didn't belong there. I
I
don't know if
know.
everybody else saw
We,
it.
we
It was
have
just-
put up signs saying no
We need what
dumping
they
and-
used to call like a spring gun that goes off when people do that.
Yes.
I mean, there was a pile of stuff
Right,
there and
right.
a lot of it
was-
wouldn't belong in there anyway.
Right.
I know,
It-
did
It's
you see it,
supposed to
Rob?
be for clothing. We're gonna increase the signage, put out a cement pad and
I
hopefully.
mean, it has
in
nothing to do with the
attempt
law, but I
Right.
was
It-
shocked.
It's all an
Yeah, people
attempt to
keep
keep
putting
it
crap
clean.
out there. You guys
Yeah.
gotta start arresting them, give them tickets, baby, right away.
Any other public comment, including our attorney? No?
First time I've done that in 10 years.
Okay, I need a motion to close then.
Motion to close.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
The next thing on our agenda is a series of resolutions, so. Madam Chair, if you would begin, please.
Okay. Resolved that the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting on September 5th, 2024,
Yes.
okay, are hereby accepted.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
accept departmental monthly reports. Resolved that the Justice Court, Police Departments, Building Inspectors, and Treasurers' August and September reports are hereby accepted.
Once
Second.
again, 2024 should be in there.
second,
All in favor?
aye. Resolved that the warrants for September 2024 in the amount of $444,901.12 for the general fund and $31,613.99 from the capital fund are hereby approved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
resolved that the West Hampton Chamber of Commerce is hereby authorized to use the Maria Z. Moore Park on October 31st, 2024, from 2:00 PM to 7:00 PM for a Halloween party for the kids.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye. schedule a public hearing, Friends of West Hampton Ambulance. Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Thursday, November 7th, 2024 at 5 PM at the Village Hall for special exception application filed by Friends of West Hampton Ambulance.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the West Hampton Chamber of Commerce to have their fall festival changed to their approved rain date of Sunday, October 13th, 2024.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
resolved, Live Your Core is hereby authorized to use the Great Lawn for a fundraiser and beach cleanup event on Sunday, October 13th, 2024, from 7:30 AM to 5:00 PM, with the amended plot plan submitted and discussed at the September 25th, 2024 work session.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
authorize waiver to SLA. Whereas the village board has received an application from Live Your Core to have a fundraiser and beach cleanup on the Great Lawn on Sunday, October 13th, 2024, the perimeters which are set forth on the map submitted with an application, and whereas Live Your Core has asked the village board to waive Village Code Chapter 54, Section 1A to allow open containers within the perimeters and to assist Live Your Core and its participants with application to the State Liquor Authority to authorize open container alcoholic beverages for this particular event on that day. Now, therefore, be it resolved, that the Village of West Hampton Beach agrees to waive the provisions of open container law as set forth in Chapter 54, Section 1A, and the mayor is authorized to prepare a sign a container letter as quoted by the SLA confirming that the Village of West Hampton Beach authorizes and approves the use of open containers for this particular event within the perimeters.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would like to hold over this next resolution for the next meeting, so I need I guess, a resolution to hold it over
I move.
and a second.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we're moving on to resolution number 10.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorize a refund payment of 2024 and 2025 tax year property tax in amount of $2,954.57 to the property owner specified on the attached list as a settlement of the small claims as ordered by the New York State Supreme Court.
second,
All in favor?
Aye. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves change order number 1 for MRJ Industries LTD in the amount of $2,430 to provide ACQ rack for the existing 200 amp panel with a 125 amp subfeeder to the windmill.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
authorize health insurance to all board members at their own expense. Whereas the Incorporated Village of West Hampton Beach, the village, provides group health insurance to its employees under the NYSHIP program, and whereas the village wishes to extend the availability of NYS HIP benefits to elected officials, appointed village board members who are paid an annual salary by the village, provided that such elected official or board member pay the cost of coverage, including both the employee contributions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all documents necessary to extend availability to the village New York HIP benefits to village elected officials, appointed village board members who are paid an annual salary by the village, provided that such elected official or board member pay for the cost of the coverage, including both the employee and employer contributions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that Lieutenant Lewis and Sergeant Cohen are hereby authorized to attend accredited program training in Chimney County, New York from November 18th, 18th to the 20th at a cost of $492.80 for lodging, meals of $354, and travel expense of $101 for gas and tolls, to be paid from the GL account code Apple 3120.415 training, conventions, and publications.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
resolved that Lieutenant Lucas, Sergeant Cloquel, and Sergeant Kerwin are hereby authorized to attend the Mid-Level Leadership Workshop in Albany, New York from October 8th to October 9th at a cost of $400.14 for lodging, meals $310, and travel expenses of $70.52 for gas and tolls, to be paid from GL account code A3120.415, training, conventions, and publications.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
You have a question?
I do, so make sure I
Martino Kinahan.
I thought so, okay. Resolved that Officer DiMartino, Officer Kinahan, and Officer Sweeney are hereby authorized to attend the Valor Survive and Thrive Seminar in Albany, New York from October 28th to October 30th at the cost of $828 for lodging, meals $465.75, and travel expenses of $70.50 for gas and tolls, to be paid from GL account code A3120.415, training, conventions, and publications.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accept the retirement of Officer Kenneth Begora effective September 27th, 2024.
Second,
Favor?
Aye.
At this point, I'd just like to thank Officer Begora for his service. He worked for the village from 1994 to 2006 as a part-time police officer, and then from 2006 to present as a full-time police officer. So we thank him for his dedicated service. Okay.
resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the payment to First Coastal Consulting Corp. In the amount of $8,500 for the preparation and submittal of permit applications for the end of Point Road bulkhead reconstruction, to be paid from GL account H7500 Pond Point Bulkhead Project.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Thursday, November 7th, 2024 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for a local law to amend Chapter 40 of Village Code entitled Affordable Housing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopt a special event refundable deposit of $1,000 for a large event and $500 for a small event.
Second,
All in favor?
aye. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the attached special event cost analysis and guidelines.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
whereas the Village of West Hampton Beach owns property within the hamlet of West Hampton, Town of Southampton, which is outside of Village West Hampton Beach boundaries, and whereas the property is located at
No number.
No Number Percy Street, also known as Redfield Place, West Hampton, and is identified on the Suffolk County tax map as 900-354-4-119. The subject property or Percy Street lot, and whereas the road Percy Street, also known as Redfield Place, to be subject property is not opened or improved. And whereas the village is now seeking to open the road to subject property and is required to submit an application to the Sound of Southampton Road Review Committee for approval to open and improve the road. The village attorney is authorized to submit the application to the Town of Southampton Road Committee on behalf of the Village of West Hampton Beach, and the mayor is authorized to execute all documents reasonably necessary for said application to open the road for the Percy Street lot, and the village is authorized to pay any reasonable costs necessary to submit said application, including but not limited to application fees and survey costs.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Whereas this board has advertised a local law enacting the amendment of chapter 196, outdoor tables, chairs, benches, outdoor music to the village code, and whereas a public hearing was held on October 3rd, 2024, and whereas all persons present at the meeting have had an opportunity to speak on behalf of or in opposition to the proposed local law, any part thereof, and whereas the village has determined and that said action is classified as an unlisted action pursuant to New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, (CEQA), and a short form environmental assessment has been prepared and determined made that such actions will not have the significant adverse effects on the environment. Therefore, be it resolved that the determination of is hereby made by this board that the proposed amendment, chapter 196, outdoor tables, chairs, benches, outdoor music to the village code will have a significant adverse effect on the environment and negative declaration pursuit of CEQA is hereby issued, and be it further resolved that after due deliberation of the Board of Trustees, the Village of West Hampton Beach is hereby amended said local law as local law number 5 of 2024 as advertised and attached to be further
And,
resolved.
Mr. Rubio,
Yep.
we also should insert with the amendment added language for the Department of Agriculture.
Okay, with the amendment of agriculture to be added to.
Yes.
Resolved that the village clerk is directed to enter said local law in the records of the village and give due notice adoption of said amendment local law to the Secretary of State.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas this board has advertised a local law enacting the amendment of chapter 77 drop-off bins to the village code, and whereas the proposed local law, chapter 77, sets forth the placing, maintenance, and or storage of drop-off bins on premises. Whereas a public hearing was held on October 3rd, 2024, and whereas all persons present at the meeting have had an opportunity to speak on behalf of or in opposition to the proposed local law or any part thereof, and whereas the village board has determined that said action is classified as an unlisted action pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, (SECRA), and a short form environmental assessment has been prepared and determination made that such action will not have any significant adverse effect on the environment. Now therefore be it resolved that a determination is hereby made by this board that the proposed amendment of chapter 77 drop-off bins of the village code will not have a significant adverse effect on the environment, and a negative declaration pursuant to SECRA is hereby issued. And be it further resolved that after due deliberation of the Board of Trustees of the Village of West Hampton Beach is hereby amending said local law as local law number 5 of 2024 as advertised and attached And be it further resolved that the village clerk is directed to enter said local law in the records of the village and to give due notice of the adoption of said amendment of local law to the Secretary of State.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. I need a motion for this walk-on resolution that you all has a copy of to be placed on the agenda.
Make a motion?
Okay,
I'll second it.
Mr.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Seconds.
good. We got it. All in favor?
Aye.
And you have it? There we go. Okay, now you do.
Resolved that the performance bond received from Gables of West Hampton LTD and West Hampton Equity Group LLC in the amount of $2,224,781.75 as secured by ARC Insurance Company is accepted as security for the performance of improvements with satisfaction of the Village Planning Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that concludes all the resolutions we have. That brings us to the public comment section of our meeting. Is there anyone that wishes to come to the podium and speak? Like, we have no one that wishes to speak. So we do have an executive session, so I need a motion to adjourn into executive session.
Make a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. If we could do that downstairs, my office. Thank you all for coming. We're done.
Thank you.